to the Hidden Heroes Talk Show with Ariel and Aaron, highlighting those who are doing great in the world around us.
And now, here are your hosts, Ariel and Aaron.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming on the show today. We have our hidden hero, Chad Shaw. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, what would you like to know?
How'd you get started doing what you do now? Your motivation, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Wisconsin. You know, that state that's nice and warm that everybody wants to be at this time of year. I'm being sarcastic, of course, but the way I got started, basically, I assume you're referring to bodybuilding and my role in the bodybuilding industry. The way that began, it's people that know me know that I went through a lot of health issues when I was a kid. I had severe asthma. I couldn't participate in phy class the vast majority of the time. I couldn't really participate in sports. I had a lot of like I said, health problems. I was strictly limited because of that. I was in the hospital a lot. My parents had to learn how to give me shots of suspirin and epinephrine, stuff like that, when I had really bad asthma attacks. I had to be on multiple medications. You know, every place I went, I had to carry meds with me. Inhalers and different types of oral medications that were bronchodilators and medications that would, you know, discourage the bronchial muscles from swelling up and contracting my airways. So, I mean, aside from that, I had a lot. I was born with a lot of orthopedic issues too. No ACL in my right knee. Which led to multiple knee dislocations, the cartilage in my knee getting tore up, and ultimately had to be removed. So there's no cartilage in my right knee, it's bone on bone. I had spinal scoliosis, severe back problems. Also, my left leg was 4 inches longer than my right leg when I was born. So in middle school, they had to go in and crush the growth plate in my left leg to destroy it so that my right leg could somewhat catch up in length, you know, so they could balance out. But anyway, all these health idiosyncrasies led me to, you know, obviously it's overwhelming. I felt very defeated. Obviously it's very discouraging. You know, you have all these obstacles that seem insurmountable, and you know, and you come to terms with, this is my reality. You know, this is crushing me. Well, what am I going to do? You know, this is my life. I want to move forward. I have hopes and I have dreams. I can't do anything because of this. What am I going to do? And my decision ultimately was to resist it with everything I had, and come up with a game plan on how I was going to work against these issues and overcome them to the extent that I was able to do something productive with my life and make my life worth something. And that's something that I really wanted desperately to do, was get into bodybuilding. I was very passionate about bodybuilding and fitness. As a kid, I always looked up to bodybuilding icons. You know, I'm sure everybody, you know, anybody in the industry has looked up to Arnold Schwarzenegger and you know, Lou Ferrigno and you know, icons like that. And I was no exception. But I definitely was. That's where my mind was at. That's where, you know, realistically, I knew I wouldn't be exactly there. But if I could get partway there, it would be. I'd be much better off and much happier than where I was.
So you would definitely say fitness and like role models in the fitness industry got you through it? like mentally?
Mentally, I guess I solidified an image in my mind of where I wanted to be. The fact that there were people that were icons in the industry, actors and uh, bodybuilders in the bodybuilding world that had actualized, these amazing, these tremendous goals and accomplishments. Yeah, it I guess gave me faith that it was humanly possible to do these things.
Hmm.
So then, so so then, I'd always ask myself, well, why not me? They did it. Why not me? Why can't I do it? And I had a lot of health issues to contend with, but at the same time, I made the conscious decision that I wasn't going to let these health issues stop me from being what I wanted to be, what I felt God put me here to do.
Through your journey, is there any like road that you went down that you would advise someone who is maybe on the similar journey to not go down? Like, is there any advice you would give someone?
I guess the most important advice I'd give to somebody is to not give up. It doesn't matter who you are, life is going to deal you some hard blows. Life is going to hit you extremely hard, and it's going to have you on the ropes, and it's going to beat you into submission, and you're going to hurt. It's going to be painful, and during that time, you need to decide what your reaction's going to be. And in my situation, for me, that there's no other choice. Like so many people ask me, well, how did you come against these issues? How did you pick yourself up and go against these odds? And I always have a question right back at them. Well, how couldn't I? Because what's the alternative? Either I step up and I try to overcome these issues. If I don't, then what? I'm going to get crushed. My life. What's my life going to be about? I'm in pain. I'm suffering. I'm limited, and I'm here whether I like it or not. And what are my options here? And in my mind, in my mind's eye, there's only one option, and that was to take this lousy hand I was dealt, throw it in the garbage, and yeah, I guess forcefully pull myself a better hand. And so anybody out there, that's what I would advise them to do. As long as you have life in your body, you can fight. You can fight to make something happen for yourself. You can actualize something better for yourself than where you're at right now. And I guess that's the most important message I'd want to send out to anybody that's in circumstances similar to mine.
Do you have any exercises you can advise to someone maybe that you did to better your moods or just get you out of that rut that you were stuck in or thought that you were stuck in?
Um, I guess the most important way to approach that is baby steps. When of course, it's going to be different for everybody. Everybody has different limitations and different challenges to contend with. But, I guess, you got to do what you can do. Start slow. I did as much as I'm a champion for being all you can be and pushing yourself hard and hard work ethic, go strong, fight, push forward. At the same time, you have to exercise a little bit of common sense too, and recognize that your effort has to kind of be Control based on your circumstances. Like myself, for example, I had really severe asthma. It was exercise induced and allergy induced and cold induced. So, like if I was outside in the cold air, it would trigger an asthma attack. And then I couldn't breathe and had to get medications to so that I was able to breathe again. But um, I would start, I guess where I started was swimming at the YMCA. I'd go down there. All my friends liked to swim. I'd get together with some kids in the neighborhood and go down to do the free swim. Of course, I'd pack my emergency inhalers that I had to take, and when I'd start to have an asthma attack, and I'd go in and start to swim. The first few times I did it, I lasted maybe 1 minute and I'd have an asthma attack, and then I'd use the medication to help myself. And then the next time I went in, maybe 90 seconds, and then, I lasted that long before I took the medication to counter the asthma attack. And then the time after that, it would be like 2 minutes, and then the next time, 2.5 minutes, and then the next time, 3 minutes. So it was a very gradual, slow progression.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what you have to do, baby steps, which when you're starting off with the very first step, you look ahead at what your goals are and you think, this little step, it's not significant, it's not going to get me anywhere, this is not where I want to be. But I want people to understand that these baby steps, that they multiply into huge changes over the long term. You just have to keep moving forward. A step forward is a step forward, no matter how small it is, no matter how trivial it might seem. It's progress, and you have to appreciate that, and you have to let that, allow that to motivate you. Understand that, okay, I'm moving forward. This is a good thing. I can go further. And once you get that in your mind, you get that kind of mindset, you're just going to stay dedicated to your vision to keep moving forward.
I love it. One thing we talk about on here all the time is you can get to the top of Mount Everest with just baby steps. You can get really far. So two things I hear you're saying is not taking no for an answer or the words I can't. You just have the I can do mentality.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
And I read, wow, okay. I was reading that now you create custom programs as well as books. So it looks like now you're turning around and helping others?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. It was probably 11 years old when I started this whole crusade.
Okay.
So, with over 3 decades of experience under my belt, I figure, why sit on that? It's time to share this with other people. Do what I can to use what I've been through, use my experience, use my knowledge to help other people transform for the better, help other people actualize their goals.
Nice.
I love it. One of our favorite questions that we always ask people is, do you have a quote that you live your life by that you want to share with us?
I know this is going to sound very cliche-ish, but just don't give up.
Yeah.
Under no circumstances do you give up, because what's the alternative? You give up, you throw in the towel, then that's it. It's just, what's your life worth if you give up?
Yeah.
And there's going to be times in your life where the stress, the pain, emotional or physical, whatever it is you're going through, it's going to seem so overwhelming. You're going to feel like giving up. But trust me when I say this, if you do give up, that pain is going to be so much more significant
Mm-hmm.
than than the pain you'd feel if you tried and did your best and dug down deep, within the core of your spirit and fought with everything you had to move forward and failed. Just giving up, it's all over, and you're always going to be looking back wondering what would happen if I would have tried? What would have happened if I would have, pulled it together and really gave it my all, and then never knowing. I mean, to me, that's the greatest pain anyone can feel.
True. I agree.
I would agree too.
Spend the rest of your life saying, what if I had just kept going, or what if I had tried
2 days more, 2 months more.
Right? Keep going for it, because eventually nothing can last forever. The sun rises and sun sets. Eventually, if you keep pushing and keep going for it, you're going to get there.
Right. Yes.
Somewhere you're going to get out of where you're at right now.
Yeah, and an old a quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger that's popular is where your mind goes, the body will follow. And I believe that. When you, in your mind's eye, if you keep seeing things one way, and that's the only way that you see it consistently over and over and over and over again every day, eventually things are going to happen. Eventually your body will start to manifest and actualize some of these things that you've solidified in your mind. Eventually that vision's going to begin taking on life.
Yeah.
That's true. I agree. I love it. I love your journey. I love your story. It like you said, it's not peaches and cream. Everyone has barriers, obstacles that we have to overcome, and it's sticking with it and being strong and saying, no, I can do this. I'm going to keep going.
Absolutely.
So you truly are one of our hidden heroes.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. And everyone listening in, it's Ariel and Aaron, and you've been listening to Hidden Heroes with guest speaker Chad Shaw.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Do you want to leave us with any last words?
Last words? Just, if anybody ever wants to contact me or get a hold of me, I have a website called chadshaw.net. I have a lot of free information on there, people looking for health advice, fitness advice, stuff like that, and also people can get a hold of me through that website if they're interested in personal training or nutritional planning, anything like that. And also my cookbook, More Taste, Less Waste, is also available for sale right on chadshaw.net, and also lulu.com also carries the book. But it's just basically a book that I put together for people so they could have their cake and eat it too, so to speak. Recipes that are popular with most people, pizza, tacos, stuff like that. But in order for me to obtain my goals and still eat food that I like, I took those recipes that are generally considered fattening and tweak them and just substituted ingredients to make them healthy. And so that's what that recipe book is all about. So.
I love it. Love it, love it. Well, everyone, thank you for tuning in. This is Hidden Heroes with Ariel and Aaron. Hidden Hero today has been Chad Shaw, and you can connect with him at chadshaw.net. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Have a good evening.
You too.